Hardcore gamer over here, finishing video games super fast. It's kind of rude. Where am I? What am I doing over here? I don't know. Gather the necessary materials. Something's trying to fight me. Well, what am I doing? I don't know why I'm over here. Oh, that's right. I was buying from the shop. From the shop, mate. See if there's stuff to buy. Okay, that's what it was. Alright, so we've got to go to the Velcroy. South of the Velcroy? Right there? I didn't even go over here yet. I guess I didn't need to, but... Are we going here? Alright, Sanzi, so you beat this game. What do you give it out of 10? What is your final rating out of 10? 9 out of 10? Dang. Is it better? Is it better than Final Fantasy 9?
Looks like I found the river.
That's the biggest question. Nine is a 5 point. Wow, that low, huh? Dang, Rouge.
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never.
Sorry to keep you,
I've had a
mate.
quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Lying
Let's get
about.
bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
Race me? Why would you race me, bro? Seems a little sus. Give me a second here. Okay. For some reason the lighting's just a little off.
Bet you 100 gil I find more. Bet you 100 gil I find more.
Where are we going? Over there? Let's go, mate. So, what would you say is your biggest issues, or would you say is the biggest problems with the game? Pretty much the same stuff like that I've been saying, the crafting and Jill. Stardust.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
Is that what she's called? A deuteragonist? I've never heard that term before. Duty-ragonist? Sounds like a poop rag. Duty-ragonist. Or maybe it's like a poop dragon. Duty-ragonist. Hello? Oh. It's the Clive game? I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because, like, I mean, for instance, Final Fantasy IV is the more or less, it's the Cecil game. Or Cecil, I'm sorry. Wow, they're gonna make me actually do this much effort to try to find this stuff? Interesting. Hello. Thank you. Thanks, mate. Yeah, just run through the brush. Dude, I can't wait till we get, like, some realism in our video games. So that way we don't, like, actually run through brush like that. What the fuck is it? It's probably somewhere stupid. Oh, I see it. I like this game. What's that game that had that same issue where, like,
That should be enough.
you run up to something and you jump instead of grabbing it? What game was that? Is it a Final Fantasy game that's like that? What game was that? That where you run up to, you go up to something and you end up jumping instead of interacting with it. What game is that? It's Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, it's 15. Yeah. Same problem.
How much did you get?
No, it's 100%. 100% FF15. Stardust. Legend has it that a star once fell from the heavens and punctured a hole in the Dalmekian desert, whence sprang forth the fountainhead of the river Velcroy.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat?
I have another. I guess it's a personal preference of like some of the way the dialogue is done in this game that I'm not a fan of.
Since we had the chance to talk.
And I'll explain in a minute.
A man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time, working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Well, says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you.
So like this cutscene is fine, right? It's not overly animated. It's not a nice fancy cutscene. The ones that I don't like in this game are the ones that are in every other game. Like,
enough soppy shite for one day.
Like right before this scene, right? We had the one where it was like it showed Clive's back and it showed Gav, and then it showed Gav's back and it showed Clive. Looks just like this, right?
Oh, I plan to.
Very, very generic looking. That like every RPG has this looking scene, and like it's like 80% of this, like the dialogue in this game. In a lot of the games, right? It's super generic, and like those I'm not a huge fan of.
Ready to go home,
so I feel like that's personally like that's a personal preference of mine. Like I don't like that. Like it seems kind of boring. Like give me some other angles, right? Give me other camera angles. Don't constantly make it behind the character, showing the character you're talking to, or the character talking. You know what I mean? Like it gets really, I don't know. It's just super generic looking. So I'm not a fan of that. And then I don't like the way. I feel like some of this game has Western influence that's not good. Where, like, the scene we just did, like, for a main story, like, thing, it's like, hey, go to this random place, fast travel to it, and collect this item. Like, it just feels so unnatural, I guess is the best way to put it, right? So, like, if I play other Final Fantasy games, like, main progression of the story doesn't feel like that, right? It doesn't feel like a generic fetch quest. Like, having main story quests be a generic fetch quest is not good, and this game does that a lot. And that's a thing a lot of Western RPGs do. The Witcher 3 is no freaking different. That game is so much like that. I'm like, dude, enough of this shit. Like, Whereas all the other FF games I played, even 15 sort of like that, not to that extent, the extent this game is. But like, if you look at any game prior to this, it's like, hey, we're just going to go to the next destination and we're going to proceed from there. Like, everywhere you go, it's like, that's the next step in the story. Whereas this game is like, hey, the story is in this location, but we got to go grab this one little thing, have it like from this spot, so fast travel to it, and then just go back. Right? It's just, no other FF game does that. I think, as far as I can tell, or as far as I remember, like, or if you do go grab that thing that you need, there's an entire area designed for that thing. It could be a tower or a building or something, right? It's not just like, that's another like a thing that, again, that's a personal preference for me, like, where I think it's too generic because there's so many games that do that, right? And like I've already said, I'm not a huge fan of the fast travel in this, primarily because I would like the areas to be more connected. I don't mind that, like, I don't mind doing the fast travel after you've gone to places, but like, if I'm going to go from here, I would like to somehow have a way to go from here. And when I'm going to go to the Valkyrie for the first time, there's actually like a traveling between it, not just, hey, new area, we're just going to instantly go to it. Right? I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan. So like, I would say right now, overall for the game, for me, it's probably like an 8.5 out of 10. Right? Because to me, it's like where the game hits, it hits really, really good. Like, the gameplay is godlike. The story and some of the story beats, like the main important story beats are godlike. But then it's like drowned out by a lot of these like story beats like we're doing right now, where it's like fetch quests, and it just kind of I feel like it just drags the main story and pulls you out of what's going on in the game. Right? And like the disconnect is too great. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I turned down a setting here, and I don't know if I actually like it. I turned down the was it here? I turned down the motion blur to 3. Let's see what it's like on 5. You know what? Because the frame rate's not perfect, because it's not consistent, it's actually fine at 5. Or on frame rate mode, it's fine. I actually don't mind it. On frame rate mode, it's not too bad.
All right, Clive. I gave all that stardust to Blackthorn, just like I promised.
I got everything Blackthorn asked for. How'd it go over in Dalimil?
Well, we got it. Oh, yeah.
Blackthorn.
The world building in this game is fantastic. I mean, it's 10 out of 10. Like, no cap.
Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You know, it beats sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Getting on with?
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Yeah, I agree. The world building in this game is so good. Like, especially if you talk to the people. And that's the thing that's kind of unfortunate, is there's a lot of...
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Like, this scene is so generic. See what I'm talking about? I also really, really, really do not like the, hey, you beat the boss. Here's a screen that tells you, hey, mission complete. Like, it feels, I don't know. I guess in this game, it feels super unnatural to have a screen because of the design of the game. Like, the old games, where it was like the battle system, you have to pull out of the game to go into a battle system. But this game, like, the battle system's fluid with the story and the cutscenes. So then, like, when you have at the end of the fight, it's like, bam, bam, X and X slain. And then it gives you, like, here's how much gil you got. Here's how much experience you got. Like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that. Like, I don't like that. It feels like, oh, great, it's just another mission like every other thing I've done in the game, you know?
What do you need?
Like, I feel like I shouldn't even get gil and experience for, like, these main story missions. I'm not beating anything. It's not a quest per se. It's just part of the progression of the game. And I don't like that. So there's too many... again, my biggest complaint is probably there's too many Western influences in this game that I don't like.
Anything else?
No, I think we good, bro. All right, I love this kid though. Sometimes he says funny things.
What do I have to eat to grow as tall as you, Mr. Stelz.
Yeah, I love this kid, dude. The kid's godlike. Yeah, it's so weird how, like, there's so many parts in this game. Like, I feel like FF is usually one of those games that's fairly consistent across the board with a lot of the things it does. But this game has some interesting, jarring things where I'm just like, why did they do that? That seems so awkward, and it feels forced. Like, oh, well, we want to be like a Western-style game, you know? Like something new here. And then other instances, like when it comes to things like Ultima, it's like, bro, this is Final Fantasy as fuck. Like, there's huge Final Fantasy influence, and you can't deny it when it comes to some things in this game. It's just so weird.
How may I help you today, Clive?
I might help you, mate.
Come to claim your just desserts?
Oh yeah, me to your right. Few are those who would strive to lighten the burden borne by the crystal's curse. But if we are to survive the coming storm, we must stand together, bearer and brother, as you have shown us. A friend in Northreach.
You earned this.
Yeah, I did. What is that? High Cleric's Medallion.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Nope, nope, just coming once. Ha ha! Yeah. That good one. Oh, up here. Yeah, so again, right now, the game's an 8.5. It might get better once I get to the hard mode, because, again, I do wish this game had more of a challenge for me. I know I've seen some people that do struggle with this, and that's just fine, right? Some people just aren't as good at games or action games or whatever. Which is fine. Like, I haven't gamed over yet, so. How would you rate the game now that you've had a couple weeks playing it? Right now, I'm saying it's an 8.5, I'd say. Because I'd say it's an 8.5 at the moment.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn's started work on the plating.
That's
Excellent.
true. You also played it on a, like, unnatural hard mode. See, like this.
What's next?
Super basic ass
Helm, of
cutscene. See what I'm talking about?
For this, we'll be repurposing
Hate
fallen
it.
scrap.
I just don't care for
Salvage
this.
from the ruins. I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
Like, give me a pan, show me the room,
Just
or
so
something like that,
happens
right?
this
Like,
one
don't just give it
particular
to me
ruin
their
is broken
face.
into
Like, show me
exactly
the
right
room.
shape and size pieces
You
for
know,
what we
show
need.
me, just maybe show some other characters in the room,
What's
and
the
like
name
we're
of her
listening
with
in.
all
You know,
details?
I think that'd be more interesting.
What's her name?
What's her name?
Right.
Dude, that's hella me. What? Yeah, that person.
Talk to her back there. You know, thingy. She'll tell you exactly which bits
Thingy.
of which room we need. You just need to go and find them.
That's the interesting part, right? Is the dialogue in this game is an 11 out of 10. Like, this game probably has the greatest dialogue of any Final Fantasy game I've ever played for the most part. But, like, but then you have that dialogue in some of these basic ass looking cutscenes, and it's so weird to me.
Oh, Sid, is
They look like
this
that
about the
plastic.
helm?
Yeah, I mean, that's just par for the course, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're very
Means that
14.
I should
Yeah.
speak with you.
I would even say
I'll show you the
14.
plans, then.
Oh.
Here you see the mithril engine.
It's mithril.
in
Why are you
which
calling it
the
mithril?
Mithril is burned to generate
Have you
heat.
never watched Lord of the
That
Rings?
heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with
I would say it's
by
not even
means of
necessarily
the
14, but just
thermal
Western,
displacement
right?
stack,
Western style
which
games.
disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating.
But I guess people don't
In
mind
other
it
words,
usually, right?
The reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And
I've never
not
heard
only
that word before,
they're also
thermophilic, but I
waterproof and
understand what it
immune to
means
rust,
because of
making
the
them
two words
perfect
put together
material
for
our
it.
protective hood.
Interesting.
Why? If sea or rain
a good word.
water
I like
were
that
to
word.
enter the reactor
Rolls off the
proper,
tongue.
it would vaporize
Thermophilic.
instantly. The forces produced would tear
It's like
the
fellatio.
ship from stern to...
You can stop there.
It's like,
Said we might
I've
be
had
able to
enough of
use
this.
parts of a fallen ruin.
I'm good.
Where would I
Can you
find
just
it?
stop, please? My brain hurts.
Yes, it's in Lorbert's Pass near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
So something kind of interesting, I just had a thought, right? I think 7 Rebirth is going to be better than this game. Just after playing this right now, and one of my for me, I think it's going to be better. And part of my thinking is just strictly how you will go about going around traversing the world. And if it's anything like what it seems like it's going to be, because obviously we don't know for sure, it's going to be exactly what we wish this game was going to be. In the sense of how you traverse. When I go somewhere, or when I go through the game, it's not going to be, hey, you're going to head to the desert for the first time, right? It's going to be like, nah, dude, like, here's where you're at, and you're going to have to walk your ass over to where you're going, or get on a chocobo or something. It's not just boom, boom, done, you're there, right? Obviously, I'm hoping it's like that, because I think that really expands on the world design. Whereas, like, this game, I feel like I really don't have a good grasp of the world.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Because everything, this game, like the locations you go to, it just doesn't feel like you're in a connected world. Like, everything doesn't feel like it's one world because of all the teleporting. And I wish that wasn't the case. Is this faster? This might be faster. I can get on Chocobo here right away. I still don't know what the heck those little obelisk things are. And I'm hoping I get to find out at some point. I think this game will really benefit too once it hits PC and we can have like way better graphics. Like hopefully a solid 4K 60. But yeah, like for instance, like, you know, if in 7, if you know, once they either leave Midgar or Calm or whatever, because they're already out of Calm, they're already out of Midgar. So once you leave Calm and you get in a Mithril, like you're literally gonna have to traverse the world to Mithril Mines, and then out of Mithril Mines to Junon or whatever, right? So, like, it's not just gonna be like, hey, I'm teleporting to this section, right? You have to actually like get there and traverse to that area. And I think that really like creates a much better world design and makes you feel like you're in a cohesive world. Whereas this game, like I just teleported from the desert to a ship in the lake, and then to like a forest, essentially, right? It's just, it's weird. And it's been like that since the start of the game.
Oh, there you are, Sid.
Yeah, see, like she's here suddenly.
Thanks so much for coming. The ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
I hope we get more Fallen info, because like I really want more Fallen info. Dude, I have like, this shit is like super overly saturated. Saturated as F. That is better. I just realized how overly saturated that shit was. I was like, damn, that grass is green. What? My item disappeared. We haven't even fought today.
Anybody home?
Anybody home? Bork. Oh, hey. Yo, bitch ass.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
And I know it's kind of a stupid thing to complain. You dick. Oh shit! I gotta relearn, chat. Can you not? Wrong button. Okay, that's a mazer.
To me, boy. Too slow.
Come here. Bow. Oh shit! I almost did the wrong thing. There we go.
Nice try.
And this is why I don't like locking on a lot. Oh, you dickhead. Quake? Rouge. Okay, well, we missed that one. That's fine. There we go. I gotta get back into like the groove of the game, you know. I haven't played it since shit. Tuesday?
The things I do for you, Mid.
I mean, I would do things for mid too.
Thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Thanks. Thanks. See, like quest complete. Don't just give me these things automatically. I don't want a screen for this, right? I don't mind the level up screen. That's cool. Or maybe even like put it up in a corner or something like that and be like, make a it's just so intrusive in my video game. The Eye of the Warrior. Only those who have stood in battle can know its boon and its curse. First-hand encounter of the Siege of Stonehair. Increased strength, tonic duration by 10 seconds. Like, again, it's just a personal preference thing. It's not like, I don't think it bogs the game down necessarily. I just would prefer it not like that. Report back to mid. See, look at all this teleporting. I'm fucking sick of it. Like, so much teleporting back and forth, man. Can we not? I have nothing new. Okay.
We're seeing troops amassing at it.
Ain't so bad stretching your legs once in a while. Should do it more often. Same after drinking.
And obviously the music, there's no questioning how good the music in this game. It's just a given. Game's music is an 11 out of 10. Like, dialogue 11 out of 10, music 11 out of 10, visuals 11 out of 10, gameplay 11 out of 10. You know, this game does a lot of shit right.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Voice acting 11 out of 10.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And
As
just
much as
one
Ryu Tanaka
remaining.
hates mid.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
It's a booger.
So,
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
I've been going round in circles trying to find something sturdy enough to withstand the fire of the engines, but light enough not to sink the ship. Should have bothered old Tome sooner. If anyone knows something I don't, it'll be him.
Bro, if this shit flies, I'm gonna be like, all right, this is pretty sick, right? Now, oh, hard part, okay. I guess this is the fastest way out of here, right? Okay, I am starting to feel like a mini-map might be a little helpful here.
Started reading books that don't have any pictures in. Why would anyone want to do that?
Yeah, well, that's crazy. Why would, yeah, screw that.
I knew it was a good idea to have editors study alongside the children. It's really stoked their competitive spirit.
Is she the one who says...
I have done it, Sid. I have learned all the letters.
Yeah, she's the one, the Russian. Or Ukrainian, whatever she is. I mean, man, yeah, this game is visually just absolutely stunning. It's funny how nobody knows that we're here, and it's like all they have to do is like get on one of these mountaintops and just look. And be like, oh, there they are. Found their hiding spot. It's kind of interesting that all these people live here, but somehow... Or I don't know if they live here.
I heard what you told Nan about Kupka. Hopefully all our old friends can rest easy now.
Yep, what up, dog? I'm gonna change the music here. Just because we want, you know. There's more. Wait, have I talked with you? Oh, hey, it's those things.
Sid! Look what the curse breakers brought back.
That's from that quest.
Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I'll be down.
See, this is so cool, man.
You had one before.
Like, you do a side quest and it adds more to the game.
What are we having?
Like, that's so cool. Like, games don't normally do that. Ever.
You should try one.
And you would never know unless you talk to these people. That's so neat.
Hey? The bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
Like, that's super cool. And like, you have that one quest where you save the girl for the apple tree or whatever. Like this guy too, right? If you don't do this quest, he's not gonna be sitting here eating this. But
I'm never drinking again.
but yeah, you have the quest where you save the girl from the dogs or whatever, and you get the apple tree, and it's like, well, you never have the apple. If you don't save her for that quest, you probably shouldn't ever get the cutscene with the apple tree, right? I would imagine. So it's just cool that they have all these extra things that like otherwise won't be in the game. I think.
Always.
Wouldn't make any sense to the player.
Could you take a look at this?
Take a look at this. Thermal shielding designs. A baffling diagram made all the more confounding by the preponderance of question marks that blemish its borders.
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch, I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection it requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obolus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
Yeah, thanks, Harp.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Setting off Steam 3. Yeah, well, wait. I clearly want... I don't know. Who's hotter? Who's more attractive? Probably Taria.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. I could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Yeah, we taking Taria.
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic. Conch shells.
Garlic?
Are you sure this is the
That's
right
the best move.
Looks like the ingredients
Equip
for someone's supper.
in
Though these items may seem mundane,
Vampire
they
Survivor.
have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in
Frickin' garlic.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay safe.
Jill's like, I cannot believe you didn't pick me.
Good luck with your research.
Yeah, you get to look at the books.
Hippocrates and I'll look after things here. You head over to Northreach.
Yeah, because like you get to look at the books because you're about as interesting as a book. So, make for Northreach markets. All right, now what I gotta do?
Now, where's Talia?
And what can I do for you?
You have anything I don't have? Breath of Fire. Raging Fit. Oh, that's neat.
I do like a customer who knows
We'll
what
pick
he
that up.
wants.
Because why not? We'll get one of them.
You've a keen eye.
And one of them.
Excellent choice.
We never use these
I
tonics,
do like a
but
customer
might
who
as well.
knows what he wants.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled. I won't have you spoiling another
Need to
catch.
stock up on these.
There you are, Talia.
Ah, and there you are.
Here I
Shouldn't have any
am.
problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What should I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate
Pepio
when you've got
nuts.
them. Don't tell me you've forgotten what you're looking for already. Garlic and pepio nuts. Do you want to take the list?
Kupo for Kupo nuts, yeah.
What do you want?
Pepio nuts. Edible fruit of the pepio plant is prized by chocobo breeders. Although the superstition that it lends a stud bird additional stamina seems largely founded on its blushing, swollen form than any quantifiable results. Wait, so you're saying
Go on.
they're called
Take it.
stud birds?
There's talk.
How the hell is anyone...
Sans is a stud bird. He ain't no bitch bird, he's a stud bird.
What can I interest you in today?
Garlic. Alimentary alliums are a hallmark of classical Sambricois cuisine. So much so that it is a tradition for the emperor to award honorary titles to those responsible for supervising their cultivation and preparation in the White Worm Castle kitchens, the so-called garlic knight among them. Also used as the most damaging, effective item to get in Vampire Survivor, creating a ring about the player and making them literally invincible. Nice.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Oh, I didn't buy it, did I? I did not buy it.
I trust it's all here.
I should do it.
Garlic. I want to see this cut. I want to see this cutscene where Asmongold got it and see how excited he got for garlic, dude. He's like, fuck yeah, garlic.
You'll not find a bruised pippin in...
A bruised Pippin in the bushel. Well, what we find a bruised Mary, not Pippin. What the hell is a Pippin anyway?
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
What be a Pippin? Garlic, pepio nuts.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting.
Another thing I was thinking that would help them by not... Why does she look all sad?
But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
Okay. Okay. I mean, when I go through my second playthrough on New Game Plus or whatever, we'll do the other people. That way I get both scenes. See, this is like a not a boring ass scene. See how like it could show them talking from here and it'd be more interesting.
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire.
Well, that's rude.
No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Tyre.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tome so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
He's checking that ass out while she walks away. See, that's another thing I was thinking about that would help if they didn't always do the cutscenes the same way, is it wouldn't constantly be staring at somebody's mouth. So then, like, you wouldn't always see how, like, awkward their like, face looks or whatever. You know? Or their mouths. Oh, that's cool, watching these little storks. I was like, is there a bird on that thing over there? And then they all got up and flew away. That's a nice little... So I can't go over there. It'd be really cool to see, like, the cairn from here, but, like, before it gets destroyed. But you can't. But that'd be a cool thing. Because there's so many neat visuals in this game that I would like to see if there was, like, a before, you know? Because obviously they likely had a visual of the cairn before it got destroyed, because I think you can see it from a certain aspect point, but not after. Not on this side, anyway. Because you don't go over here till after the...
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Moon dew. You have anything new, bro?
Our ship lies still in harbor.
I don't think so. No, I think that's the same one. I think that's the same one.
Ah, better late than never. We're ready to begin whenever you are.
Welcome home. He had a successful trip.
Better than you know.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
Yes, please. In the infirmary.
Our work here is almost at an end.
With the door locked.
A shame.
Alone.
I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
I like how he's got the candle there. That's like, he's already got plenty of light, so why is that candle there? Letting off steam 3. More money, more other things.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Yes, we shall.
Thanks to Sid.
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
Some greens to the chocobo, mate. The chocobo. I think it's funny that the waifu actually knows what a chocobo is. Somehow, like, it came up and I mentioned it. And now she was like, I know what a chocobo is. I'm like, what? How do you know what is a chocobo? She's like, it's like a big bird thing. I'm like, what? Blew me away. I was very surprised.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer.
Damn, don't sound so excited. To the Black Hammer. She's super pumped.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference.
He's like, yeah, it's all the same to me, bro.
Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside.
Ooh, we're gonna
Mid,
fight.
you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
Just cleaned it, I thought.
On my way.
On me way.
Bring me the biggest salmon you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
Walloping? Sometime later. Neat.
It's finished. It's finally finished.
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Oh, God.
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive.
Why does her face look
where
so
we can
fucked up
actually
there?
Live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made
It's gonna
up.
be an ad here, by the way,
As
chat.
soon as
3
the
minutes
Enterprise
coming
is
up in a
fit to
second.
sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans. I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
New quest available. Speak with Otto. New missive has been delivered to Clive's chambers.